I've said before that Donald Trump is causing generational damage to our country, and that continues to be true. And in some cases, all we can do is hope that there are people that are watching out for the things that he is trying to erase so that they can be saved, preserved, and brought back in a post Trump America.
One of the last things that you were tasked with doing before you and dozens of other of your colleagues were fired on March 26th was the task of getting rid of the entire Kennedy Center's permanent collection. What happened?
I was summoned to Rick Grinnell's office with a number of my colleagues, and he told me that he was putting me in charge of getting rid of the art, getting it off campus. He wanted to get it out of the building for the renovations, with the intention of replacing it with new art. There are a number of artworks throughout the campus that were donated to the American people in the name of cultural diplomacy from different countries all around the world. And here I was being asked to contact these donors and tell them to not only take their work back, but in some cases to pay for the excavation of, sculptures that were installed outside. And I resented that I was being asked to do that.
Palermo's account basically took stock of these 10 months that he spent at the Kennedy Center. He was actually hired by Grinnell to be the first curator of visual arts and special programming for the center. And he said everything that he witnessed essentially amounted to the politicization and desecration of America's premier cultural institution. He said that everything he saw around fundraising efforts, programming efforts, was centered around having a close association to President Trump. That included fundraising appeals, interactions with donors, and what Palermo says amounted to cronyism and ethical lapses, some of which he witnessed directly.
I understand if you have works of art that need to be protected during the renovation of a building or a campus. I don't know what type of renovation exactly they're doing in the Kennedy Center. My guess is going to be gaudy gold and centered around Trump, as we're hearing. But to say get rid of the arts, get rid of all of these donated pieces of art from around the world, and we're going to replace them with new pieces of art that are centered around the dear leader, is North Korea level shit. And if we lose these works of art because of Trump, that may not be replaceable. Generational damage can be fixed. This might turn into a situation where you can't replace the damage. You can't fix, repair, whatever, the damage being done. All because he is a narcissist that insists everything and everybody around him be about him. This is the fucking Kennedy Center. It is a it's a living memorial to John F. Kennedy, and he is going to fucking destroy it and turn it into something honoring him. And I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Democratic presidential nominees for 2028, you have got to run on a living wage, you have got to run on universal health care, you have got to run on a woman's right to choose, you've got to run on all of those things. But you've also got to tell us that you're going to put this shit back to the best of your ability the way it was. The whole goddamn town is going to be Trump-centric by the time he's done. Unless, of course, he eats that final Big Mac sometime this week. And, one can only hope. Here's where all the MAGA cultists are going to take this video and make their own video about it, going, that's what the left is. They're hoping Donnie has a heart attack. You're goddamn right I'm hoping he has a heart attack. You're goddamn right. Today would be nice. You're goddamn right. That's how much damage he's causing to this country. I don't want any harm to befall him, but yeah, I sure would like for him to eat that one last Big Mac sooner rather than later.